fighting two wars while terrorists plot their next attack. Our changing climate is putting our planet in peril, our security at risk. Our economy, I don't have to tell you, is in turmoil. We've lost over 400,000 jobs since the beginning of this year. Wages and incomes have been flat for a very long time now, at the same time as the price of everything from gas to home heating oil to groceries to health care to college tuition are all skyrocketing. So it's harder to save and it's harder to retire. And worst of all, I think people are losing faith that they're going to be able to pass on a better life to their children and their grandchildren. That's the essence of the American dream, that each and every one of us work hard and sacrifice so that the future generations can do better than we do. And people are unsure about whether that American dream is slipping away. So we know that this election could end up being the most important in our lifetimes. We know that the choices that we make in November are not just going to shape our futures, but also our children's futures. And we know that one of the central challenges that we're going to have to deal with in the years to come is our addiction to foreign oil. And without a doubt, this addiction is one of the most urgent that we've ever faced. Which makes sense because it turns out NASCAR, which knows something about tires, apparently said the same thing. So did the AAA. And so in the coming days, it's going to be interesting to watch this debate between John McCain and John McCain. Just about tire meters. It's not just about a single TV ad. It's about everyone in this room, about your lives and your future. Because you know that what we've been doing for the last 8 years has not worked. That's the essence of this election. Are we going to keep on doing the same things that we've been doing, the same policies, and the same politics? Or are we going to decide that we're actually going to do something different? You know, if you need one more example of what's wrong with our energy policy or George Bush's policies in general, there's a new report today, some of you may have read in the newspaper. Iraq has been getting a windfall because of rising oil prices. They have a $79 billion budget surplus. At a time when we're spending $10 billion a month in Iraq, they've got almost $80 billion that's not being invested in services for suffering Iraqis or reconstruction. Some of this money is sitting in American banks in New York on Wall Street. Right now, oil companies have access to 68 million acres of land that they are not using, that they're not drilling on, and my attitude is you use it or you lose it. Start using some of these places that you already have. That's point number one. Point number two, we need to give an energy rebate to families to give them some immediate relief. The mother who is having to cut back on groceries because of rising gas prices. The guy I met who couldn't fill up his gas tank to go on a job search didn't have the money. I've said that we need a $1,000 rebate, energy rebate, to provide families a little bit of relief over the next 4 to 6 months. And it's going to be particularly important going into the winter because there are a lot of folks who don't have a lot of income who are going to have to figure out how to heat their homes with oil prices so high. So that's short term, but unlike Senator McCain, I understand that that is not going to provide us with the short-term relief, the long-term relief that's needed. That's just a temporary fix. If we're going to be serious about this problem, we need a all hands on deck approach. An effort from scientists and engineers, businesses, homeowners, all of us are going to have to get behind a new approach to energy. We know that That's one of the reasons I voted for an energy bill in the Senate that was far from perfect, but doubled our use of alternative energy. We've got to develop it. That's why, as president, I will put the full resources of the federal government and the full energy of the private sector behind a single overarching goal. In 10 years, we're going to eliminate the need for oil from the entire Middle East and Venezuela. And we are going to put money into research and development to ensure that this happens, and we're going to create an electricity grid that allows us to fully utilize plug-in hybrid technology that's already on the shelf right now. But we're not using it because we haven't been serious about this issue. Number two, we're going to double the amount of energy that comes from renewable sources by the end of my first term. That means investing in solar and wind